in that pursuit of finding a better way to remove mill scale. I was doing some research and I found that you could use white vinegar, of course muriatic acid, and I might go that route because we already have plans to do another cooker, and we're probably gonna, I think Lauren probably has a plan for what he wants it to look like, so we're gonna use this as an experiment. So this is Wednesday. I'm gonna do a quick spritz of this vinegar all through inside here, and then when I come back on the weekend, let's see if it actually removed anything and to what degree. Alright, so here's a second day coming back to check out the cook chamber. That's all the residue, or all the white vinegar that kind of settled down at the bottom. But check this out here. So as I kind of do that, it looks like, at least initially, it's eaten through that mill scale. And you can see this is all rusted out through in here. So it kind of leads me to believe that it's eaten through a fair amount of mill scale up there as well. And over here, and these end caps that are on, it looks like it hasn't done much of anything. So I'm going to hit it up again, the whole thing, and we'll just see where we're at. Alright, so that's what it looks like. It's all vinegared up. Did the outside too, just to see what's going to happen. And this is the area that I didn't clean up at all. And I don't expect that it's going to remove too much, because you can see it's just rolling right off of it. So it's not going to get enough contact exposure time probably, but well, nonetheless, good experiment. You see over here where we had some removed, there's a little bit of color. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright guys, so this is day 3. Got the cook chamber all vinegared up, or it was vinegared up. You see, heck of a lot more color showing through here, where mill scale was already previously kind of wiped off. And on the outside here, didn't really do a whole heck of a lot, which is kind of what I was expecting, but stay tuned because I have an idea for making that work out. But as we look inside here, this little area, I mean, it's been, this is actually Saturday. I missed coming out on Friday, but it looks like it took some more mill scale down on there. And then these end caps here, maybe a slight bit of mill scale that it was able to remove. So man, this is looking like it's going to work out, which is really cool for somebody like me that doesn't have a whole lot of time to work on it, but I have a lot of downtime in between, and I can let things kind of naturally take their course and do what they're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this thing up, and I'll show you here in a second what I'm going to do on the outside to try to get rid of some more mill scale. Alright, so here's the idea, and I can't take credit for it. My wife actually came up with it. Lauren and I had originally thought, after the last one, we noticed there wasn't enough contact time, and it was basically just evaporating and not being able to do a whole heck of a lot. So we thought, even before I finished up last time, it's probably not going to do anything. Come back with cellophane, spray it down, put the cellophane over it so it holds it in place. And my wife said, why don't you get like some toilet paper or paper towels, and
those look great on the white background.
Here. Some toilet paper or paper towels, spray the cook chamber and put the paper towel over it, spray it again so it soaks it up really good, and then cellophane over it, and see if that works. And I thought that was a pretty good idea, and she doesn't have many of those, so I figured, let's do this. So that's what I'm going to do now.
She also doesn't watch his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
A pipe came up in your search.
I look for a lot of pipe.
But it's funny, I expect to see it on offer up and not grinder.
Alright, so we got that in there. Let's make sure it's all pressed in good. I would say already it's had like 500% more contact time than we had before. So I suspect that this is going to work pretty good, but at least better than it was. So now what we're going to do is going to go ahead and cellophane wrap it. But while I was talking about what I was going to do, Lauren had an even better idea. And Lauren, can you hold up that idea? That idea right there. So if you have if you have a big roll of cellophane wrap, like for wrapping boxes and pallets, give that a shot. Otherwise, I have no doubt that regular cellophane would work. It's just going to take more work than this route, and this is, yeah, this is way better. All right, so this is what it looks like, all cellophaned up with the paper towels over the end caps and down the back side of it. And then I gave it one more spritz because I noticed on the inside here, I don't know how well, yeah, it's not really going to come out, but I noticed on the inside of the cook chamber that it was already drying up, and a lot of it had settled down to the bottom. So as he was sealing this up over the front of it, I went ahead and spritzed again just to see if that would hold it any more, hold it onto the surface a little bit longer. Probably won't, but I did it anyways. Can't blame me. But so we're gonna reconvene sometime tomorrow morning, and we're gonna get busy on this thing, and we'll see what it looks like. That'll be the grand reveal. All right, this is the grand reveal. It looks like it worked on first inspection. Looks like a mummified cook chamber is what it looks like, really. But moment of truth. So here in just a few moments, we're gonna unwrap this thing and see what really happened. But I mean, see, there's rusting coming all the way through, surface rust. I just imagine that means it's removed and eaten through some of that mill scale and brought it up to the surface. All right, let's unveil it. Alright, so not as exciting as I was hoping it would be. It looks like it did something, but not nearly what I was expecting from looking at the looking at it with the cellophane and the paper towel still on it. My hope now is that perhaps it's weakened the mill scale, and when I hit it with the restorer, it'll go ahead and come off a lot easier than it did before. But the time investment to do this was almost nothing. It was like 5-10 minutes per day. Yesterday was the longest just because we tried wrapping it. But I don't know. I spent many hours trying to clean this thing up before. So if I can spend 5-10 minutes a day just kind of doing this, and then maybe just an hour or two to get the rest of it cleaned up, I might be optimistic, but might be worth it. Alright, let's clean it up. Alright, so this is about maybe 10-15 minutes with the restorer to get this sort of finish. Previously we had to double it up. We had to hit the restorer and then that benchmark paint and rust stripping disc. And then over here, Lauren just tried that benchmark on its own, and it worked, but not as good as the restorer. It looked like it was a little bit more spotty, whereas the restorer was pretty consistent with what it removes. And then on the inside here, it really did just a fantastic job. Not so much on these end caps. I think it was just a matter of not enough exposure time to really get it to work. In addition to the end caps on the inside, end caps on the outside. Again, I think it was more about that contact time. And had I come back and hit it again with some more vinegar, it probably would have worked out. So all you see all this stuff here. We actually had to hit that with a grinding wheel. It wasn't coming off with the restorer at all. So this was some really stubborn mill scale, and I think it just really required a little bit more contact time with that vinegar. But on the rest of this, I mean, it took no effort to get this off. Let's say how we went about it. We first started off with a wire cut brush, and it was just throwing rust around everywhere. I mean, it was coming off in no time flat. But we ended up taking a shop vac and a Scotch-Brite green pad, and just put the shop vac back behind the pad and just scrubbed it off. And this is what you get. I mean, it's not flawless. We didn't spend more than maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes on this to get it to this, and I had spent, I'm not even kidding you, I had spent hours with a wire cut brush getting the coarse and rough rust that was previously on this down, just to get to where there was mill scale. I don't know about you, but I feel it's pretty conclusive that it is at least a viable option for you to try, especially if you've got your piece, you don't have a lot of time to work on it, but you got a few minutes to kind of spritz and let nature take its course. And then, you know, it allows you that when you do have that time to work on your piece, it's basically already prepped for you, honestly. Like, you have very minimal work to do to get it to where you can already start welding or the finishing part of it without biting into the metal with a hard disc or a flap wheel or whatever you might do. So I highly suggest you all give it a try. To get it to where it is, what you're seeing here, that was about an hour of investment versus the probably, I'd say 8 to 10 hours that I had previously already invested into cleaning this piece up, and it only got it to where it was when you first started watching this video. So highly suggest, give it a shot. If you do, put it in the comments down below. Let me know how it worked out for you, or if it didn't work out for you. If you came up with something better that wasn't muriatic acid, because I wasn't trying to go with a heavy acid if I didn't have to, but I really wanted to see if this worked. So you guys take it easy, stay safe, stay healthy. Later.